The Chicago Teachers Union and the Service Employees International Union, SEIU, worked together in solidarity to elect Mayor Brandon Johnson. But the two unions are now at odds over a CTU contract proposal with CPS that SEIU says would take thousands of members away from Local 73.
I mean, we would say that it threatens the integrity of our bargaining unit that we've represented for over 20 years, and typically that is defined as a raid.
For months, SEIU Local 73 Executive Vice President Stacia Scott Kennedy says her union has tried to work with CTU on its contract demand with CPS, but unsuccessfully. This week, the SEIU State Local Council passed a resolution saying it is, quote, under attack from the CTU.
It's pretty unfortunate and disappointing that it's gotten to the point where SEIU's had to draft a resolution, get it voted on and passed to actually call this out.
Progressive Alderman Andre Vasquez and others say for the sake of union solidarity in Chicago, the dispute must be worked out.
It's extremely unusual for unions to be in a public fight like this and for one union to challenge another, especially if they're politically aligned.
The conflict is over CPS special education classroom assistants known as SEICAs. SEIU has jurisdiction over 7,200 aides.
SEICAs are there to service students with disabilities, and they are not there to make copies or do bulletin boards or teach or recess or lunchroom monitoring.
Scott Kennedy says the union wants to diminish special education assistant roles to helping students with personal hygiene and feeding. CTU's contract demand calls for teaching assistants to help with the education part of it. CTU originally turned down jurisdiction over SEICAs.
Back in 1999, the position was created, so CPS decided that there was a need for the position. They first went to the Chicago Teachers Union, and the Chicago Teachers Union said they weren't interested.
Scott Kennedy says if CPS agrees to CTU's contract demand, SEIU Local 73's membership could possibly dwindle down to 500 members. In a written statement, CTU says all it is asking for is before every special ed student is assigned to a SEICA, CPS evaluate that student to determine whether the student needs a SEICA or a teacher's aide. CTU says it will continue to collaborate with SEIU.
Watch breaking news on YouTube. Subscribe to ABC7 Chicago Eyewitness News.